name is Christy Mortimer, and I'm here to share with you some classroom and materials management tips that I have found helpful in both the middle school and elementary school art room. This is what I call my Palette Points behavior management system. This system has worked for me at both the middle school and elementary school levels. Essentially, it rewards classes with incentives for positive behaviors. I've done this two ways. Each class can compete to try to earn a point goal that they feel is fair and help set themselves, or classes can compete against one another to see which class earns the reward. I usually call these reward days arty parties and have the classes help me come up with ideas about the type of reward they would like in order to give them some student agency. The only rules are that it can be nothing that's too expensive, and of course it must be art related. Examples of arty parties include Choice Art Day, color mixing cookies, where we create a frosted cookie color wheel, shaving cream or floating art prints, etc. The way it works is each class can earn up to 6 points each day they come to art. Those points are earned for entering and lining up to leave quietly, listening during instruction, working quietly, taking care of art supplies, cleaning up without chaos, and being respectful and kind to one another. I usually have what I call an art apprentice, aka my helper for the day, help me to count those points once the class is lined up to leave for the day. Then I record it onto a chart to keep track of all points. I usually reward classes at the end of each 9 weeks. For students that do not follow my rules and expectations, I give them what is called a behavior ticket. This is similar to a think sheet that students have to fill out themselves, owning what rule they broke and stating what they're going to do to make smarter choices so that this doesn't happen again. There's a spot for teacher comments as well. I usually fill out that portion once I see how the student has reflected on their problem behavior. The student then has to take it home and return it to me the following art class with a parent's signature. My contact information is listed at the bottom of the behavior ticket so that parents can contact me with any additional questions or concerns. If the student does not return the behavior ticket, they know they will receive an additional ticket and I will have to call home or enforce an additional consequence. I keep these on file for the entire school year as documentation. Another thing I have found helpful to get students' attention is to use a call and response method. When I say Mona, the students repeat back to me, Lisa. At this point, they know that I expect them to put their eyes on me, close their mouths, empty their hands and stop what they're doing, sit still, and listen. To keep the noise level under control in the art room, I assign numbers to voice levels. These voice levels are on a scale of 0 to 5, with 0 being silent, 1 being a whisper, 2 being quiet table talk, 3 being their class presentation voice, and 4 and 5 being reserved for outdoor activities only. I also use a 3-strike system in my art room using the letters A, R, and T. Classes start out each day with all of their letters. I take away letters for disruptions while I am teaching or when the noise level during work time gets too loud. It is similar to baseball. When they get 3 strikes or lose all letters, they have to do 5 minutes of silent art time. I tell students that if I hear any talking during the 5 minutes, then I have to start the time over. Having what I call a creation station for early finishers has been a great behavior management tool as well. It provides art activities for students to keep them busy when they are done with art projects before their peers. I have drawing boards, markers, and erasers for students to practice drawing, art books for students to read, as well as coloring sheets. I also have implemented traveling creation stations that can be moved around the room and include practice activities such as architecture/building, fiber arts and jewelry practice, as well as modeling, clay, and sculpture. The time timer is a great visual tool for counting down the time that is left until cleanup of art projects or creation stations. For materials management, the key is to stay organized. I color code everything from my tables in my classroom to class portfolios and table folders. I also use colored table buckets that match my table colors. Each table has their own bucket that contains basic supplies needed on a day-to-day basis, such as scissors, glue, pencils, an eraser for students to share, as well as their very own trash cans so that they do not have to keep getting up and down constantly to throw things away. Table jobs are also great for managing materials. I assign students a number and a job based on the seat they are in at their table. The project patrol is in charge of getting out portfolios and/or table folders. material manager is in charge of getting out and putting away all supplies their table will need for the day. The bucket boss is in charge of making sure the table buckets have all of the supplies organized and returned to them at the end of each class, as well as dumping their table trash can. The table tidier is in charge of supplying all students with messy mats when we are painting, wiping down tables with a rag, and cleaning the floor. I've also assigned a supervisor/substitute or sketchbook supplier jobs when there are more than 4 students per table. Plastic drawers for organization of paper scraps have also been helpful when it is time to do collage projects. This is my visual word wall of the elements of art. It is helpful for myself and for my students to refer back to throughout the year as we practice different art skills. I hope that all of these classroom and materials management tips are helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at christina.mortimer@henry.k12.ga.us.